Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Hope you had a great trading day. And we'll start with SPX cycle chart. And you can see exactly this, follow this yellow dotted lines. And you can see exactly today, 13th of Feb. I did not change anything from yesterday. We got a massive dump. Okay. SPX was at one point down more than 2% from yesterday. You can see 2.17% down. And then this rising white line, which is 20 moving average, saved it for SPX and it found support there. Now, you can see we are now in this risk period, so this can be 1 or 2 days here and there, but it exactly one day massive gap down. Now next couple of days could be a period of risk, but we are also sitting on this 20 moving average white line right on support. All right, so there are two possibilities. One is next couple of days we can just stay here, go a little bit down and then bounce. So this yellow line can go a little bit more lower and then bounce, or we are already done with the bottom and then we're going to get a gap fill here. And that's what exactly this rising phase is predicting. Okay, you can see this yellow line. We're getting this rising phase. So from now until, you can see this tops out around 1st of March. So from now until 1st of March, next couple of weeks, we can still get a bounce. And then this red circle, which is starting from 20th of March to 1st of April. So end of March to beginning of April, this is a bigger risk period. Okay, so that's why I marked it yellow, red. And that's where we are getting these two cycles going down. So you can see yellow cycle also coming to the downwards face, the dark blue dotted lines also coming, and then this light blue as well. So this is a big period of risk, and that's where we can expect a major decline in this bull market. Okay, so again, so this dip is to buy, and then we're going to get a bounce, all right, as yellow lines are predicting, and then we're going to go lower, all right. And then if I go to weekly chart, you can see if I zoom in, same thing here, focus on this light blue lines. So I'm expecting on a weekly basis, end of March, beginning of April, this bigger dip. Now this, I don't know, this could be where we will find support. We'll talk about it later, but for now, just focus on this little bounce which we are about to get, and then we're going to go talk about the weekly chart later on when time comes. All right. And since we're talking about that, SPY, you can see gap down. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see if let me hide EMA line so it's a bit easier for you guys. So there you go. So you can see massive gap down, and then this gap was left open. So this gap was filled and they did a massive gap down. Now we are on support. Okay, so on SPY, you can see if I go to daily chart, we are sitting right on support, and you can see here, and this is not where you should be looking to short. So this is where you can see we were above this line, and in one day we came to the bottom of this wedge, and we are sitting right on support here. So this is quite possible we can get a bounce. Now, other possibility is we could go a little bit lower, and this gap here around 482, that can also fill. Okay, so if we go a little bit more lower next couple of days, around 2%, so that gap is also possible, and then we're going to get bounce. But as you said, as you've seen on SPX, we can get bounce anytime right now. All right. And let's go to triple Qs, which is Nasdaq. Same thing here. If I go to 1 hour chart, just to show you, gap down, and you can see there was this gap here around 433, and then there was another gap here. So these two gaps are now open, and this gap was filled. So you can see gaps always get filled. Now there's another gap here around 422.39. So it is quite possible we could go a little bit more lower. But again, on triple Qs as well, we are sitting right on support. We can go a little lower. It's quite possible here. If I bring in moving averages, let me quickly add moving averages here. You can see here, it is quite possible we can go, actually it is sitting right on this white line, rising 20 moving average. And also this trend line is another white line is a little bit lower. Okay, so quite possible we can go a little lower. That's also a possibility, but also we can bounce. So if we can hold for a while, this is a good dip to buy. Okay, let me add just other charts with some other indicators, so that gets a bit easier for me to review. So here you go. Also, we were going higher on triple Qs with divergence. You can see RSI divergence, PPO divergence. So we were expecting a dump. Now this trend line is still a little bit lower, so we can still get a little bit lower and then we can bounce. So that also is quite possible. All right. And Dow Jones, see my arrow gap down again, and now we are, I think we'll see from where, I think a little bit more lower, and then we can get a bounce. IWM, massive dump after CPI release. Also we had massive divergences here, so I think I'm looking for a little bit more lower. Now the support, now this gap is going to be filled at some point, but not now. I think I'm looking for a little bit lower and then bounce. So what I'm expecting, if I do analysis based on SPX, so I think we're going to get a little lower and then we're going to go bounce. All right. So let me make this green and let me make this a solid line. Okay. So this is what I'm expecting. So we'll see how that goes. All right. And VIX was the winner. If I go to 1 hour chart, I was telling you, you can see VIX did not gap up, but it filled this gap around 16.83. So you can see this gap. Where did I get this gap? 16.83. Let me go back here. You can see this gap here, 16.83. This gap, you can see how gaps are filled even on VIX, man. So this is unbelievable. So I'm going to delete this. And then there's another gap around here around 21. So that will happen. Maybe that will happen in March, end of March, which I'm predicting a dump. So anyhow, so VIX is very nicely was on this trend line. And also there's a gap up around 12.96. So now I think it's going to come down first. So this gap is also there. So it's going to dump, fill this gap. And that's why I think next couple of weeks can be very bullish. So my possible path is going to be come down, fill this gap, and then go higher in probably end of March, April. So that's what I think. That's going to be in line with what I think is going to happen. Crude oil also nicely on this trend line. Let me bring in moving averages. Let me see. Where did that? Here you go. All right, so the crude oil is also, you can see nicely on this trend line, and everything is looking nice. And facing resistance near this 200 EMA and SMA. Let's see if it can break out. That will be very bullish for oil miners. CNQ selling off. Very, very bearish price action. So let's see if it can bounce. It all depends on crude oil. Tesla also down 2.18%. This could be a lower high. It got rejected on this white line. Now the bad news is it closed below this green line, which is never a good news. I really want to see it above green line. You can see any day it closes, it really needs to recover over this green line tomorrow and fill this gap around 187. If it does not fill, that's not a good news because every time it has to go above this green line to be bullish. So that's a very big test for Tesla tomorrow. We do still have green line above red line on PPO. So let's see, maybe that's what can save Tesla. Apple finding support on this 200 SMA, simple moving average, gap down. So I think it can still bounce from here. It can still go a little bit lower. There's this nice support here, but again, it's sitting on this nice 200 SMA and algorithms are triggered. This is biggest stock in the US market. So algos are triggered for auto buy here. Gold, very bearish. You can see finding support on this 200 EMA and 200 SMA. Getting a 8 count buy signal here on this indicator. Usually after 8 and 9 counts is the buy signal. So getting this 8 counts buy signal. So let's see, maybe tomorrow if it still goes lower, that's going to be a nice buy signal on gold. Silver on this trend line, nothing changed. So it's about to find support here. Natural gas also about to get a buy signal. I think getting an 8 count. So let's see if you can get another 9 count. That will be a buy signal. We'll see how it goes. There's a gap around 1.493. That's what I will be looking to buy, and that's from where we are right now, around 10% away. All right, dollar massive bounce, massive bounce. I think the next target is this resistance. The dollar can still go higher. Bitcoin getting a sell signal, 8 count sell signal here, and if I go to BTC, there's a gap here around 47,890. I think that's what's the next target. Also, if I hide these EMA lines just so that it's a bit nicer. So you can see it's on support. Maybe it can come all the way down, fill this gap, and then touch support. Ethereum, also there's a gap all the way down, but also getting a 7 count sell signal. Maybe it will stay a couple of more days and then go lower. We'll see how that goes. All right. Let's go back to where we were. Toronto Stock Exchange, massive gap down. Actually, I have to add a gap here. I did not, I forgot. So let's add a gap here, gap up here. So that's it, and that gap will fill one day. I don't know when. Maybe now we'll get a bounce. And let me add in moving averages, and it's below 50. So now it's maybe it will find support in 200 EMA and 200 SMA. Hang Seng Index is China is back, and right now on this trend line resistance. So I'm not buying until it breaks this trend line. So nothing changed there. Commodities. Let's look at copper. Let me bring in moving averages again, and copper is still possible. We're getting a buy signal today as we speak. So let's see if it works out. Sometimes it still goes lower after buy signal. So this is a nice support on copper around 3.57. We'll see how it stays. Soybeans is in a buy area, support line. Sugar, making a flag, trying to break down, but let's see, not that impulsive yet. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. Wheat is also consolidating, not any impulsive selling yet. Corn is also getting a 8 counts buy signal here. Let's see, tomorrow will be 9 counts, so maybe we'll get a bounce tomorrow. We'll see how that happens. Okay. Newmont Mine, new lows, 8 counts, maybe one more count. That will be a buy signal. But again, new low on divergence on RSI, no on PPO. GDX, you can see it broke this dotted trend line. So I think it's now going to this white trend line, which is the next target of this trend line is going to be around here, around 24.5. So it is quite possible we can go a little bit more lower from here. So it could be go another 4%, and that will be a nice support around 24.75. That's what I think will be a nice area here. Give me a second, guys. All right, back. Yeah, so yeah, a little bit more downside, and then I think there will be a nice support on gold miners. All the bigger stocks, I have no interest here. I don't want to buy any of these tech stocks. Very, very extended, massive gaps up. I don't know when they will be filled, but not interested. Like Amazon, you can see massive divergences, getting sell signal everywhere. PPO, you can see about to cross. Netflix, green line is below red line. Amazon, you can see everything, it's about to die. In my opinion, Microsoft is also, you can see red line is above green line, massive divergence. I have no interest. Google is a little bit okay on this white trend line. Snowflake's also very extended. NVDA, you can see actually getting a sell signal, this red sell signal today. And same thing with AVGO and AMD. So nothing much. Shopify had a massive dump after earnings. You can see now multiple gaps. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Did this gap fill or not? Still, this gap is not filled. Little bit left. Maybe it will fill tomorrow. So nothing much there as well. Okay, guys. And yeah, let's. If you guys want, I can do a quick bonus update on basically zones for tomorrow. And by the way, guys, if you like this channel, if you like what you're seeing, hit the like button and share with your friends and family, and subscribe. It's free to subscribe. And if you want to know about these zones, I share these zones with my subscribers a couple of times a day so they can make educated decision, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Link in my profile. All right. So MNQ massive dump after CPI in the buy zone. Okay, right, sitting in the buy zone. So I think it can bounce from here short term. MES also in the buy zone. Dow Jones in the buy zone. Russell 2000 also in the buy zone. Crude oil holding nicely between neutral zone and sell zone, and all these other stocks. CNQ in the buy zone. Tesla touching buy zone all day. Apple was in the buy zone all day. Gold came way below, so it's also near buy zone right now. Silver is also in the buy zone. Natural gas in the buy zone. Dollar should be in the sell zone, massive pump. So let's see, maybe dollar will weak. So maybe next day we'll have a nice bounce. Bitcoin is in the neutral zone. You can see dump from sell zone all the way to the buy zone, and then bounce from buy zone to the neutral zone. Ethereum, you can see it's dumped from sell zone and now getting closer to neutral zone and sell zone again. So nice moves there. Hang Seng Index China going to a neutral zone. Let's quickly look at commodities. Copper is in the buy zone. Soybeans in the buy zone. Sugar buy zone. Wheat getting closer to buy zone. Corn also in the middle, in the neutral zone. Like I'm gonna add palladium. Some people like palladium as well. Here you go, palladium. Maybe this one. So palladium, all right, and it's also between buy zone and the neutral zone. All right, guys. I wish you best of luck for tomorrow and have a good night. Bye.